Alright, what's up, Dominators? Welcome back to the ShiHai's channel, and today I'm just going to talk about the card shops in Singapore. So Singapore is a really small dot. We are called the little red dot, located near the Indian Ocean, located near a country called Malaysia, which is like what, 5 times bigger than us, maybe a bit more. So this is the map where we are located. Yes, you can see that we are a small part of the world. So yes, we have a population of about, I would say about 5.5 to 6 million, probably 6 million by now. Last I've known is actually 5.5. But basically, why am I making this video is because I want to spread the awareness of card shops in Singapore and how people like Vanguard players or basically TCG players in general do not know where to find the locations of these card shops, don't know where to find additional making friends and make the relationship with card fighters around Singapore. So this video is just based on me explaining the different types of card shops, the advantages and disadvantages, and I'm going to name the first six or the best six that I think that are the most popular in a sense. And disclaimer that this is not sponsored by any card shop at all, so please don't sue me. It's just my honest opinion on the card shop, whether it's bad or good. I have no feelings about it, like hard feelings about the card shop. Hopefully you guys understand as well, and hopefully the owners, if they are watching this video, understand as well. So the first six card shops I'm going to mention will be located near mostly the red lines and the yellow lines. So I'm going to use a lot about the MRT map in Singapore. If you guys don't know the MRT map, just go and search Singapore MRT map. You will see that the MRT map in Singapore is actually really simplified. It's not that complicated, such as MRT maps in Japan. And that the card shops I am gonna say is ranked in no particular order. So my first card shop is not gonna be my most favorite card shop. My last card shop is not gonna be the most disliked card shop out of all the six card shops. And then after that, I'm going to give you an additional four more honorable mention card shops in which I will mention it on later on. So let's just get right into it. The first card shop will be Zark Games. So Zark Games is located at an MRT station called Tai Seng. If you can see the red circle right there. So CC11, Circle Line 11, it's located conveniently between all four lines. You can see the Bishan NS17 line, Serangoon having the NE line, northeast, MacPherson having the downtown line, and Paya Lebar having the east-west line. So it's really convenient. It's in the middle of all these lines, so it's convenient in the sense where you can actually get to the place easily, and it's not located at some far end place such as like a Jurong East. It's not that complicated, and it's near the city area in a sense. So you guys can after playing cards, you may want to go to do a little bit of shopping. So that's one place you can actually do. So now I'm just going to show a video of how I'm going to get there, and while I will show the video of how I'm going to get there, I'm just going to go on by stating the advantages and disadvantages of the shop. Alright, so moving on to the advantages of Zark Games. So first of all, it's purely air conditioned. That's obviously what you want to look in card shops. Because most of the card shops are purely air conditioned, and since Singapore weathers are like extremely hot, and I'm talking about like 32 to 36 degrees every day, because the sun is shining so hot, and global warming is a real thing. So aircon in shops is especially important because you don't want to be sweating while you're playing. It's really just horrible. Moving on to another advantage is that Zark Games is a purely Vanguard shop. What do I mean by purely Vanguard means it doesn't really do any other TCG card games such as like MTG, Butterfly, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, or whatever. Most of the time I see that their whole shop is just purely Vanguard, so that's one of the good thing, meaning that they have a shit ton of cards. So most of the cards you can find there, any commons, any rares, any foil cards you want to go and search up there, they have a lot of there, including SPs, SVRs, URRs, ZRs, whatever rarity you want. You can go ask them, they will probably have it. Moving on to the third point, which is reasonable prices. So Zark Games is one of the places where I think that they sell their play sets, their slots and cartons prices are pretty reasonable, unlike some card shops which I'm going to get to later. The prices there are following mostly big web prices, and that they do not mark up their prices by too much to make it not being able to buy, let's just say some cards, you depending on the rarity as well, they do not mark up their price to that expensive until the player is like, oh, I don't want to buy this card anymore. So that's one of the good things. Moving on, we have good and friendly players, including the card shop owner. So Zark Games, they consist of 3 to 4 owners and 3 to 4 employees around there. So it depends on what shifts they're taking, and basically one of my personal friends is working there as well. So they have good and friendly players in the sense that the community there at Zark is actually pretty good in the sense that they are very friendly. They're not that competitive. Obviously, there are the exceptions of 1 or 2 people that are really competitive there, but most of the time it's a good and friendly community to just sit down and have some casual fun games with your friends, laughing along the way. And the owner of Zark Games is actually also really friendly and knows how to play Vanguard as well, so he can give you advice on deck building. And moving on to the second last advantage point would be you can shout and scream wherever you want. So Zark is located at a place called an industrial area in which there are no residential homes close to it. What do I mean by that? Means you can shout, you can scream, you can laugh, you can do whatever you want there loudly, but obviously you don't want to do it that, obvious or anything. You don't want to be an annoying prick. But other than that, you can have fun with your friends there, laugh along the way. It's really a secluded area, but at the same time, seclusion means quietness. And if you are a kind of guy that likes the quietness, you don't want to, be playing openly where everybody, the public can see you. Not everybody, but the public can see you. Zark Games is the ideal place to go. Last but not least, for the advantage point, you can stay till 12 a.m. So basically, I remember that time I went to Zark at about 6 p.m. at night, and we played Vanguard all the way to about 10 to 11:30 p.m. and that's when I left, not even when the shop even closed. So yes, this shop does open till very late. If I'm not wrong, it may be open till up to 12 a.m. or even later. I'm not too sure about that. You have to check with the owners. But basically, the flexibility of them being open and closed at different timings is really an advantage point. Moving on to the disadvantages. So this is where it's located. You can see the video right now. I'm just going to show some parts of the video. It's as I said before, is some of the industrial area, so you can basically shout and scream whenever you want. There's no residential homes near it. Moving on to the disadvantages of Zark. So first disadvantage is closed on Monday. So if you are thinking to go on Zark on a Monday, please do not do that. I've done it once before and I didn't notice until I actually got there and it turned out it to be closed. But yeah, that's one of the card shops. But basically, I know some card shops that are open 7 days a week. Basically, they have no breaks at all. But yes, I agree that everybody should have a break at least once in 1 week, 1 day in 1 week. So Zark throws a Monday, which is fine. Moving on is a 10 to 15 minute walk from the MRT. So this can be an advantage or disadvantage. So the MRT walk from walking from the MRT to Zark only takes about probably 10 minutes. So it's not really a disadvantage. But what I mean by disadvantage, it means that it's unsheltered at all. It is not sheltered at all. Sorry, it's unsheltered. So what I mean is, let's just say in this clip, as you can see, there are puddles of water, which means it's raining. I pull out my umbrella and start to walk to Zark. And that's one of the more inconvenient things you have to take note of, because whether it's raining or whether the sun is shining too brightly, you actually have to bulk up and face the sun/rain to actually walk to Zark. And if you're facing rain, you might get wet, your cards might get ruined. That's why it's important to put them in deck cases or deck boxes. And then if it's shining really hot, you might sweat and arrive at the shop a little bit tired and sweaty. So that's one of the disadvantages of Zark. Moving on, it's really a bit hard to find the first time going there. So if you're a first timer trying to locate Zark, it's a bit hard because they do have instructions on their Facebook page. Yes, there is a Facebook page, so you can go check them out. They do have instructions, but it's not that clear as to how to get to the shop. So that's why I'm making this video, making it easier for you guys to actually see and know how to actually get to the card shop. Moving on would be the opening timing. So opening timings is not fixed, as I said before, but the closing timings is not fixed as well. So they may open as early as 12 p.m. but open as late as 3 p.m. So it really depends. Alright, moving on to the lift lobby right here. As you can see, you're supposed to take the lift to the 3rd level, so I'm not gonna mention that anywhere in the video because I'm gonna cut the video with me being in the lift. So take to the 3rd level, and after that, just follow the video. And last but not least, for the disadvantages would be the price for competition. So competition prizes are obviously quite important in a sense, but this when Zark holds competition, I would say there is an advantage and a disadvantage. They have their own how you say, way of calculating the prizes. So they have this thing called a Zark League, League, and then every time you win competition, you get a certain amount of card shop points in a sense, so that the points can be exchanged with cold hard cash. So I'm not gonna get into the details of how it is gonna be converted out. That you can go ask them yourself. But obviously, if you're a first place winner, you still get a congrats promo, and you get a certain number of points, in which the points can be used to either buy shop supplies like card sleeves or deck boxes, basically whatever, or you can just cash them out for cold hard cash. So yeah, that's about it for Zark. I think it's a really good community, a really fun and small family in a sense that you can just go there and have fun a lot of times with friends. And yes, I recommend this shop a lot. Please, if you're coming to Singapore, drop by Zark Games. I might be there during the Saturdays, Sundays. And yep, I'm just going to leave the video right now, and I'll see you in the next card shop. Alright, so we move on to the next card shop, which is Rowell Video Pte Ltd. So, moving on to Rowell. Rowell is a really popular card shop in the sense that it does a lot of TCG card games. So, as I said before, that it's located at Serangoon. It's 2 stops before Tai Seng, and the good thing about it is located on 2 lines, which is the Northeast line and the Circle line. So, it's really accessible in a sense. It's one of the advantages. So moving on, after you get out of the MRT, in which I lost or didn't record the footage, either one, I forgot about it. Basically what you want to do is actually go up to the surface and go into this shopping mall called Next NEX, and take the bus from there. So you only can take one bus, which is 315. So take it for about 8 to 10 stops, I would say, and then alight. So I'm just going to show a brief video on how my bus ride to Rowell, and yeah, it's a bit fast forwarded, and I don't want to show the full video because it's going to be damn boring. So let's just go on with the advantages and disadvantages of Rowell. So Rowell, first advantage would be that it has cheap and reasonable playset prices. So the way that Rowell does playsets is really interesting, and I have no idea how they calculate the price, but the prices are really reasonable. But I wouldn't say the same for single. So in this video right here, I'm pointing to the temple. This is where you actually want to drop in order to find Rowell Video Pte Ltd. And if you guys are still unsure, I'm just going to leave a picture right here. It's basically the bus stop signal and the sign where to drop. So you can drop at block 112. As you can see, you are taking the bus 315 here, and then the bus code will be 66309. That's basically about it. Moving on to the advantages. So as I said before, it has loads of cards. Rowell Video Pte Ltd is a place where they have a lot of cards because the supply and demand in terms of players and the community there is quite huge. So they do have a lot of cards. They are located on 2 lines, as I said, the yellow line and the purple line. So that's one advantage. And moving on to the next one is they have good and competitive players. So don't confuse this with good and friendly players. When I say competitive, means that the players there are really competitive in a sense that they do play seriously. So if you're trying to want to be a competitive player in Vanguard, you want to train up for competitions such as BCS or WGP, going to Rowell and train, I think, would be the best choice because the players there are really competitive. Moving on, they have a friendly card shop owner. As I said, I call him, he's like an uncle, friendly card shop uncle, I would say. So if you are a regular there, he will recognize you. He will give you discounts on some stuff that you buy. So that's one of the advantages of that. And moving on, we have the Rowell VIP card. So I'm just going to flash the VIP card right here. So this is the Rowell VIP card. For every dollar that you spend on a shop, you gain a certain number of points, and these points can be exchanged for different kind of goods, such as deck boxes, card sleeves, shop vouchers, in a sense that you can actually exchange for them. This is really good. Moving on to another advantage, it's open almost every day. I rarely see Rowell close on even on Mondays or even on any day of the week. They are open almost 7 days a week, exception for public holidays, of course. So actually in public holidays they still open, because that's when all the card fighters are actually available to actually play at the card shop. So it's really phenomenal. I mean, I really have to give props to the owners of Rowell, because they are constantly working every day to bring the service to card fighters such as us. Moving on to the weekly competitions tournaments. Yes, this is very important. They have a schedule of tournaments in terms of Vanguard tournaments, buddy fight tournaments. So the main TCG games they do there is buddy fight and Vanguard. That's the main two, if I'm not wrong. They do hold other competitions, let's just say Dragon Ball or Yu-Gi-Oh, but the main source of players, the community there, are more of Vanguard and buddy fight players. And then they have weekly competitions and tournaments, in a sense that every week on a Saturday or a Sunday you have either a buddy fight tournament or a Vanguard tournament. Moving on to the last advantage, in which I think this is one of the more important ones. Their prizes for the competitions or tournaments are best out of all the shops in Singapore. So what I mean by the prizes is, let's just say we get into the first place in a shop tournament in Rowell, the prize pool of you getting is literally amazing. I'm not going to get into the full price, but basically you can either get a cash prize, which is cold hard cash, or you get shop vouchers worth a certain amount, which I'm not going to mention. You can go ask them yourself based on the number of players as well. It varies. So yeah, but I will have to say that the prizes out of all the card shops in Singapore, Rowell Video Pte Ltd has the best price out of all. Alright, moving on to the disadvantages. So the disadvantages is pretty simple. It's not air conditioned. That's one of the more important things, as I said before. Zark is air conditioned, but Rowell is not, unfortunately. So I'm just going to leave a picture right here. So I'll leave a picture right here of the exterior of Rowell. So this is the exterior of Rowell. As I said before, it's not air conditioned. Only the inside of the shop is actually a little bit air conditioned, but while the outside is not really air conditioned at all. And the second disadvantage would be there's only one bus that actually reaches the shop. As I said before, you're supposed to take 315, and it's not like really a short trip. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to actually reach to the bus stop, because it's about 8 to 10 stops. Moving on, it can be really crowded at times due to the many TCG games or tournaments happening at one time. So as I said before, Rowell doesn't only specialize in Vanguard like Zark. They specialize in buddy fight, in Vanguard, Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. There's a lot of TCG going on, so that sometimes it might be getting a little bit crowded and a bit hot, because it's not air conditioned at all. But they do have fans around for you guys to cool down a little bit. Alright, so that's about it for Rowell. I think that Rowell is a really good place. It's really close to my home, in which where I live. So it's about a few bus stops away only, and one of the more popular card shops to go to, because the prices are really reasonable. The players there are competitive, in the sense that if you want to train for certain shop tournaments and everything, you may go there. And the community there, even though it's competitive, there are those players that will be really, really friendly towards you. So yeah, moving on to the next card shop. Alright, so the next card shop we're going to talk about is actually Monarch Affinity, or Century Gaming as some might know. So it's located at Somerset, the NS223 line, yes, NS North South line. So I'm just going to roll the video while talking about the advantages and disadvantages. So first, Monarch Affinity, or you like to call it Century Gaming, because they merged, or it used to be called Monarch Affinity, but after that they merged with another card shop called Century Gaming and just become one card shop called Century Gaming. Advantages is located in the middle of town. So as I said before, it's near Orchard. Somerset is literally right next to Orchard. So it's a really center of the whole Singapore. I would say it's a shopping mall as well. So it's fully air conditioned. That's one good thing. Price wise, I would say for the shop is pretty meh. I would say so, because you are located in the business or town area. The rental price of the shops is actually really hard. So if you can see in this video, you're actually supposed to take the lift to the 4th level. I didn't really include it, but I'll probably put it somewhere in this video. So 4th level, take note. And then price, as I said, the price is pretty meh because you are located in town area. You can't really afford to cut down the prices of play sets or slots. They do hold Vanguard, Magic the Gathering, and Rush Cross. This is the main 3 that they're actually doing. It has an easy access to MRT, as I said before. It's only like a 5-minute walk from the MRT to Century Gaming or Monarch Affinity. So that's one of the good things. For the community wise, I'm not too sure because I haven't been there for quite some time. But from the last time I've been there, I would say the community is pretty friendly. It's not. There are the exceptions of a few competitive players, as I said before. But other than that, the community there are generally quite nice. Alright, moving on to the disadvantages. So first thing is it can be crowded sometimes, and when I mean crowded, it means really crowded because there are limited tables and limited space of where the card shop can hold. So if they are holding a lot of competitions on like a specific day, let's just say Saturday they're holding 2 competitions at once, such as MTG or Vanguard, it might get a little bit crowded in the sense that you will have no space to play. So yeah, and it's located in town, so sometimes the MRT might be a little bit crowded because it's a town area, so a lot of commuters are going there to have fun, eat and shop at the same time. So you have to squeeze in, especially with, if you're bringing a lot of decks, you have to squeeze in with a lot of commuters, which makes it a disadvantage. So it's a really good really good place to kill time in a sense. So yeah, moving on to the next card shop. Okay, the next card shop we're going to talk about is Cardnation. So Cardnation is located at Woodlands. So Woodlands NS 9 line, north-south line, Woodlands. It's a good place where a lot of commuters go there because there is Woodlands checkpoint to go into Malaysia. So NS9, if you want to clear a picture right here, is Woodlands. So after that, I'm just going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages. Here's the video on where to actually go and take which bus, in which I'll mention later. So first advantage of Cardnation is actually it's located really near the MRT. So if you actually want to walk and don't want to take the bus, it's actually fine because it's about a 15 to 20 minute walk depending on how fast you walk. It's only 4 stops if you were to take the bus, but if you walk, it will take about 15 to 20 minutes, in which I think is walkable. It's a walkable distance, so that's one advantage. Moving on, it's a small community but very good and friendly players. That's one of the reasons why I actually go to card shop as well, Cardnation, especially because the community there is really nice, friendly people. They are not, say, very competitive. There are exceptions, as I said before. Every card shop has one exception of a competitive player in a sense. So, but other than that, the community are really nice and friendly. They will advise you on your decks, your deck building, and your deck styles, basically. So that's one of the reasons why Cardnation is a really good card shop to go to. Moving on, the shop owner is really nice. So yes, the shop owner does have knowledge of Vanguard and Buddy Fight, so he can give you some advice on deck building and card prices and all that. So basically, that's one of the good reasons why that Cardnation, employees in a sense in general should have at least a little bit of knowledge. If you are working in a card shop, you should have a little bit of knowledge of the cards, the games that you're going to play. So as you can see right here, you're supposed to take the bus called 913. I will include it in the video as well. You're supposed to take the bus 913, and it's 4 stops if I'm not wrong. Moving on, Cardnation is fully air conditioned as well. So even though the shop is really small, which is one of the disadvantages, the card shop is fully air conditioned. In a sense that they have the air conditioner on, and as I said, Singapore is a really hot place, so one of the more important factors that I look out for is whether the card shop has air condition. Moving on, the card shop doesn't only do Vanguard at all. It does Vanguard, MTG, and Buddy Fight, and it can open till very late. That's one more advantage. That means it can open till 12 midnight, as I said. Zark is able to do that as well, but Cardnation, most of the times, they are open till quite late. Moving on to the disadvantages of Cardnation. So Cardnation's one of the disadvantages is that the main disadvantage, I think, is horrible opening times. I have no idea whether you guys seen a post on a Facebook group, if I'm not wrong, it's Vanguards or Vanguardians, either one, where players are sitting outside Cardnation playing cards on the floor because the card shop is not yet open. So if you want to talk about horrible opening times, what the meaning is that sometimes it will open at 2 p.m., sometimes it can open at 3 p.m. So it can be as early as 1 p.m. and can be as late as 7 p.m. Yes, that's how the opening timings goes, and it's really quite horrible in a sense that, you know, the owner is unable to coordinate the timings properly. So yeah, that's one of the bad things. So another disadvantages is that it's a small shop, as I said before. So the shop is filled with MTG boxes, Vanguard boxes, and Buddyfight boxes. That's why it's a little bit cluttered in a sense, and it only can fit about no, not 2 tables, but about 3 to 5 tables in one space. So that makes about 12 to 16 players at max in one card shop. And if you want to enjoy the aircon with a lot of people in the card shop, it's not, you know, conducive as well, because everybody has their own body heat. So the aircon might not be able to take on that many people and cool them down, you know, as fast as compared to when you have lesser people in the card shop. Moving on, they have limited cards. Yes, so as I said before, they do 3 TCG types of games. So the limitation of the cards is there. I feel that they have more cards based on MTG and less cards based on Vanguard, so it's a little bit hard to find cards over there. If you want to find cards, I recommend obviously Rowell or Zark is the best place to do it. So yeah, moving on to weekly competitions, as I said, is one of the disadvantages as well, because of the small space that Cardnation has. If a set, let's just say an MTG set is released this week, they're gonna have this MTG competitions over the weekend, so the Vanguard competition is not gonna happen at all. So it's alternate based on the boosters released. So if one set they're gonna have these MTG competitions, they will call out the Vanguard competition for that week. But if the Vanguard set is going to be released and it's a big set, they might call off the MTG competition for that week. So it really alternates based on which booster sets are coming out and how well they can handle different competitions at different timings. And last but not least, I would say that the one disadvantage of the shop is that it's secluded to go, in the sense that it's located at a residential area. So it's a bit hard to find the shop when you first wanna, you know, experience going there. That's why one of the reasons why I'm making this video as well. So take this video and take this time to actually know and locate where Cardnation is, and probably once you find it and remember the route to go for the first time, you probably don't have to use this video anymore. But other than that, yes, Cardnation is a nice place to go to. I think the community there is really nice. I love the small community and how we are like a family, in a sense that everybody is respected, and you can be a competitive or a casual player. We won't mind. It's just going there to have a good time and play with your friends. So yeah, moving on to the next card shop, I'm just going to let the video roll. Okay, so the next card shop we're actually going to talk about is Asobi. So Asobi is a card shop located at McPherson MRT. So it's literally on the yellow line as well. It has 2 lines like Rowell, located at Serangoon, which is the CC10 line, the Circle line, and the DT26, means downtown line. So it's really close, as you can see. We already discussed before that Zark's located at Tai Seng, 1 stop after McPherson. And then Serangoon is located, Rowell is located at Serangoon, which is literally 3 stops before McPherson. So it's really easy to get there. The access to there is really good as well, because next station is Paya Lebar East-West line as well, so it's really accessible. So yeah, I'm just going to roll a video of how to get there, and then we're just going to get into the advantages and disadvantages. So first advantage of Asobi, as I said before, it's 2 lines, so it's really good, really accessible. Moving on, is actually air conditioned, so it's a 2-level shop, I would say. There's the first level, which sells, you know, cards and anime goods, like, you know, anime figurines, anime sleeves, you know, this kind of thing. And then on the second level is actually just a bunch of tables and chairs for, you know, all card fighters to play. And the good thing about Asobi as well is that it's located really close to the MRT, so it's about like a 5-minute walk. I would say 5 to 10-minute walk. If you walk really, really slow, it's actually a 10-minute. Actually, I wouldn't say it's actually 10 minutes. I would say it's maximum 5 minutes, because it's really, really super close to the MRT. If you see the video that I'm showing now, you're just gonna take a walk to Asobi, really close. And then moving on, they are the official retailer of cards, especially Bushiroad games, TCG games such as Vanguard, Buddyfight, and White Squads. Especially these three, they hold competitions every month. So yeah, it's free monthly competition every month. They hold one for like each different TCG, but for Vanguard now they are streaming into twice per month, one for premium and one for standard. It's a really good secluded place to play if you like the quietness. Let's just say you want to just hang around with your friends, you don't want to interact with any other players because you just want to have some time by yourself to just play along with your friends, play some Vanguard or whatever, some card games along. You can just go to Asobi. It's really secluded because no one really actually goes to the shop on weekdays. I would say weekends maybe is a little bit more crowded, but on weekdays most of the time it will be empty. Around, let's just say, in the more early mornings or late afternoons, around there. I mean early afternoons. The best time will be early afternoon. Moving on, they are the only shop in Singapore that can have the exchange of points and cards. So the only place there. So if you guys know, depending on whether you play the Jap or English version, I'm not too sure about the English version, but the Jap version, whenever you open a booster box or whenever you open a carton or anything, you get a chance to get points. So the points can be used to exchange for like binders, sleeves, deck boxes, deck cases, this kind of thing. So Asobi is the only shop in Singapore that allows the exchange of these points. That's one of the reasons why it's on the 5th place as well. Moving on, they have anime goods as well. So it's not just only a card shop. It's I would say it's a hybrid of a card shop and an anime shop, excluding that the card shop doesn't have the album. So Asobi doesn't have like a singles album for players to actually buy, take a look and buy. They only sell packs and boxes. They don't actually sell their single individual cards. That's one of the disadvantages. So yeah, that's about it. Moving on, as I said before, the disadvantages is that there's no actual card albums or singles in a sense. They actually sell only packets and boxes. So it's actually quite hard to find any specific single card they're looking for over there. And then if you're looking for players to play there, as I said, it's pretty secluded, so it's a bit quite hard for you to find players. If you want to find players, you may actually go to Zark, go to Rowell, or go any other place. Cardnation is fine as well. You can go Century Gaming to find players. And then yeah, it's pretty much easier for you to find players right there. And then they do not, as I said, sell play sets, cartons, or slots at all. They only sell boxes basically. I'm not too sure like how much the boxes are, but if I'm not wrong, the packs and boxes and everything are sold at a higher price than other card shops, such as compared to Rowell, Zark, Cardnation, and everything. They are a little bit higher. And then as usual, the owners of the shop, the employees, do have limited knowledge on the card and game. They don't actually have a vast knowledge on the TCG card games, such as if you compare it to Zark, where the employees actually do play the game and enjoy the game. They can actually teach you some deck building and all that. So it's a bit hard for you to go there and ask questions about a specific TCG card game that you are wanting to know about. And last but not least, the competition price, as I said, even though they do hold free monthly competitions, the price is a little bit meh as in it's really not that much compared to other card shops where you have to pay in order to enter the tournament for that week or for that month or whatever. The price is much better, of course, but this one, the price is still, I would say, it's decent but not that good. It's just a promo, if I'm not wrong. The winner, the top first place of the tournament, will get a promo card, which is that month will be the congratulations hot stamp card, whatever that is. So yeah, that's about it for Asobi. The reason why it's in this top 10 or top 6 card shops in Singapore, because it's the only shop that can exchange points. So if you guys don't know about it, if you live in Singapore and you don't know about this is a good awareness video for you guys. So yeah, moving on to the next card shop. Okay, so the next card shop we're going to talk about before we enter the honorable mentions is actually Bricks Place. So yes, I'm going to show you where Bricks Place is located. It's located at Toa Payoh MRT on the NS19 line. It's super close to Bishan, which is on the NS17 line, and it has a Circle line connected to it as well. So it's really accessible, and I would say it's pretty close to the MRT. If you want a clearer picture, here you go. It's NS19 Toa Payoh. I don't know how you Americans pronounce it. It's going to be pronounced in a very weird way, I know. But so we Singaporeans, we have their own language called Singlish, as you guys know. So I'm just going to show the video how to get there and state the advantages and disadvantages. So to be honest, I only can find one advantage in this shop, and most of them are disadvantages. The only reason why it's here is because I think that it's one of the more prominent or more popular card shops. But based on my experience there, I wouldn't say it's really a good experience. Yeah. All right. Moving on to the only advantage I can find is that it has a nice community. So yeah, that's basically it. The community there in Big Space are actually really really friendly. If you want to make some card fighter friends, if you want to experience and gain new friends while playing Vanguard, that's one of the places to actually go, because the players there are really really friendly. They are not say competitive, but obviously, as I said before, I mentioned this a million times, there will always be those one or two people or maybe even more that are competitive. But generally, the community there is really nice, so you can just go there and request for a game for any random card fighter over there, and they'll probably say yes, and you guys can have a fun time card fighting together. All right, moving on to the disadvantages. So I have 3 disadvantages on this list right here. Obviously, I don't freestyle this whole video because I'm not that good yet. But anyways, moving on to the first disadvantage is bad prices. So what I mean by bad prices means that they are selling their packs, their boxes, or their cartons, either one, they are selling it really really expensive. And I would say those type of expensive as in really really expensive, they mark up their prices by a lot, in a sense that most of the player base knows this, and most of the player base do not really go and buy I would say packs or boxes or cartons from them. They would either go to other card shops such as Rowell, Zark, or Cardnation that has much better prices in a sense. And the experience for me there, when I went there for like the first few times, wasn't that good. I wouldn't get into the details of the story. If you want to hear about it, leave a comment down below. Maybe I'll make a separate video about that. But basically, the experience there for me wasn't that good. And when I mean experience, I mean about customer service in a sense, and the feeling of welcomeness around there. And last but not least, for the disadvantages is that it is an air-conditioned shop. However, they do not turn on the air condition 80% of the time. Only when they are like having competitions in the day itself. As you can see, we are moving to the Big Space logo right there. They do not turn on the air condition at all, because they said they want to save money, and sometimes it gets really hot. Even on competition days, sometimes do not turn on the aircon, so it gets really really hot. So ideally, I wouldn't say I would go there to play, but yeah, it is a good place to make friends and have a friendly game with the community. But other than that, I think this card shop I wouldn't recommend to go to if you are looking for any other stuff. So yeah, moving on to the honorable mentions. Alright, for the honorable mention, we're just gonna make it really fast, maybe like 1-2 minutes. So first we have Excelsior's Dhoby Ghaut. So advantages, obviously it's super close to the MRT and it has 3 lines. Like, you don't get freer than that. It's basically the only stop in Singapore that actually has 3 lines connectively, which is NS24, and E16 and CC1. All 3 lines are connected, so it's really accessible and it is air conditioned. The disadvantages, I would say, is probably maybe the card prices. So they do other TCG card games such as Y Squads and MTG, but I'm not too sure for the Vanguard prices. But I would say that last time I went there, the Vanguard prices will not say very good. I'm not too sure about MTG as well. You can ask Wilson about that. He's pretty good in MTG, but yeah, that's about it. Moving on to Fu Yen Trading. So Fu Yen Trading is located at UT. So UT, it's quite far. It's NS5, a north-south line, but near to Jurong East, which is located on 2 lines as well, NS line and EW line, East West line. Good thing about it is a shit ton of cards and sleeves. So Fu Yen is like a combination of a local convenience store and a card shop combined together, and it has a shit ton of cards and shit ton of sleeves. So if you're looking for anything, any card, almost every card they have is like a Zark. In terms of sleeves as well, they even have more sleeves than Zark. So you can go there if you want to find any cards or any sleeve that you need. That's the stop for you. Excuse me. But however, there is the disadvantage, of course, which is the prices. So when a shop that has everything, and it's like somewhat of a monopoly in a sense that it has a lot of cards and a lot of sleeves, and it's really hard to find some of those cards. Their shop card prices or sleeves price in a sense will mark up by a little bit more. Thus, you obviously want to take note of when you go there the prices that are usually sold by normal card shops such as Zark or any other card shop like Cardnation, Blitz or whatever. Basically, it's going to be a little bit more higher. Alright, moving on to the second last one, we got XLCS Khatib. So it's the same thing as XLCS, though we got except it's located at Khatib now. It's on the NS14 line, close to where I live, Mokyo, NS16. So it's just basically 2 stops. Advantage is there's one guy every week called the Miscreant King that is going there. Yeah, they will be there every week. Just kidding. That's not a disadvantage. That is more of a disadvantage for you guys. But yeah, basically I'm not too sure about the advantages in the sense, but maybe the community there is actually genuinely nice. I would say that because there are players there that are not very competitive in a sense, they're more friendly, so you can actually go there and ask for a casual game. So the shop owner is, I would say, okay as well, not unusually nice like a Rowell's shop owner, but he is a pretty nice shop owner if you actually get to know him well and better. And then last but not least, we have the disadvantages for XLCS Khatib, which is the card price and limitation. So it is not air conditioned as well. That's more one disadvantage. Card prices, I'm not too sure how the shop owner at Khatib XLCS calculates the price. Maybe it's follow Big Web or I'm not too sure about that. But basically, the limited price and the limited cards and sleeves there are one of the disadvantages that I can find of in terms of the shop being at Khatib, and at the same time it's not air conditioned, so sometimes if the weather is really hot, you guys can sweat while playing Vanguard, which is not a good thing. And last but not least, we have the 10th card shop, Audio Ventura. So I don't know what to say about these guys because it is the one and only favorite card shop that will forever hold a place in my heart. It is where I started Vanguard and where Vanguard all started for me. How my journey of Vanguard actually came across is because it's located near where I live, NS16, Ang-Mo-Kio. So yes, I don't know how you Americans like probably Ang-Mo-Kio or something, I have no idea. But Singaporeans, Ang-Mo-Kio is called Ho Mao Qiao in Chinese. So advantages of Audio Ventura, it's everything. So one of the pictures I'm going to show up is Audio Ventura Trading. So it's a small, pretty small shop located at the side of Ang-Mo-Kio. It's pretty close to the MRT. I would say it's a 10 minutes walk from MRT. Small AF shop used to be really, really big, but after that, the shop owner, which I am personally so sad because he decided to retire from the business of TCG and he decided to pursue other careers in his life and something or something else, that he decided to close down Audio Ventura, and that was the end, and we had to find other card shops to actually go to. So which is why I said Rowell is now one of my more favorite card shops to actually go and play Vanguard. But other than that, I would always go to Audio Ventura Trading at least once a week, no joke. And the times that I have there, the memories I made there are really indelible in a sense. So yes, and last but not least, I think you should guys know what the disadvantages is. As I already said, it's not there anymore. Yes, unfortunately. So yeah, thank you very much guys for watching. I hope this video didn't take too long. I'm looking at a timer now, probably gonna be 20 to 30 minutes. I'm not too sure. I need to collate all the the voices and synchronize the videos together. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I took actually quite some time to do it. I wanted to do this for a very long time, but I just couldn't find the time to actually get the footage because I'm still working on it now. So expect a slight delay in my videos every time I upload. Yeah, so but I'll try my best to upload at least once a week. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I love you Dominators. I'm VG ShiHai, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.